Welcome back. Part 3, 2024. Wire brushed it all back where it needed to be wire brushed back, which is on the ceiling side where sealant is going. Anywhere else I haven't. Hammerite sticks better to rusty surfaces, and the areas that I wire brushed back were too shiny and the paint didn't stick very well. But where I hadn't done anything, it stuck like poop to a blanket. So anyway, most of this is going to be capsulated. I'm not planning on any of this being in full view at any one time. Anyway, tomorrow, 2 sheets, if I can afford it, 2 sheets of 6mm-ish 8x4, and they are going to go 4 foot wide from that point to that point, and then that point to that point, which will give me an extra foot to play around with for scrap. On the length and on the width, I should get at least another 4 foot in most of this area here. So there is a very good possibility we can get which end are we doing? That end completely filled in, the floor completely filled in, and we might even be lucky enough to get these little box areas here filled in, so a square to go in there and go up. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to have enough wood to do it, but I'm going to try. So that's the plan. Then the next thing to do, one of 2 things, and I'm not sure which at the moment, is do I buy some floorboarding, tongue and groove floorboarding, and add some strength to this and give me some distance to put screws through, you know, because I stick old stuff. Or do I buy a piece of plywood, say almost 10mm maybe, or something like that, something that can be walked on without bowing, and lay that over the top, because what I will have to do is I'll have to drill loads of holes in the base piece, because I actually plan to fill the centres up with spray foam. I am not putting polystyrene down or any of the other stuff. I am going to attempt to fill it, so I'm going to put a lot of relief holes everywhere, and I'm just going to spray the hell out of it, and I'm hoping that every single cavity will get filled. No 100% guarantee on that. Okay, so it's cut. I'll use those 2 pieces to fill out that piece and this piece, and I'll cut some offcuts just to make up some strips, and we need to stop doing that. need to definitely stop doing that. Anyway, so first piece will get drilled. I'm going to drill that first. Then I'm going to lay it on top. So I've got to turn this over now. Lay it on top, tip X where the holes are going to be, and literally drill a series of holes. Once I've done that, then the glue can go on, and I'll get the rivet gun out and start riveting this all together. I've got wide head rivets this time for the bottom, and I've got your normal rivets for the top with a, I don't know, 8mm head, but I think I might try and countersink the wood so I can lose the rivet in the wood, so when I sand the wood down, the rivet won't be in the way and shouldn't be an issue. Keep it up in the air. Pull it that way. Pull it that way. That way. Down. 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 Go on quickly. Yep, cute. That's it. That's all I needed. Not a problem though. What is that? Well, I'm afraid to say the battery died, so I just had to pretty much get on with it. Anyway, there you go. 113 approximate rivets holding that on, along with polyurethane sealant, wood adhesive, because we had to double up on here, as you can see underneath. Same with this one. Little strip there, nothing special. So that's the outer sorted out. Now, tomorrow, I'm not going to do it today, tomorrow we'll turn this back over, we'll take the screws out because the screws are not staying, just the rivets. We will turn it over and cut the next one, which is the larger one of the two. and the scruffy side can go on the inside. That side's a good side. Well, there's no point trying to keep it clean, it's just not going to happen. So, right, as you can see, the bottom board has been marked, ready to cut tomorrow. I've got to cut around these corners, so I've done all of them throughout, like that one there, and I've also coloured in where the welds are that have got to be ground down, because I only did the outside, not the inside. That Gorilla Glue is really good, so I'm not expecting that to come off anytime soon. I've actually now removed the screws. I don't think I need to worry about that anymore. So tomorrow we'll cut, and we will put that board inside, and then we'll turn this over and we'll drill some strategic holes to release pressure when the spray foam finds its way in there. All I can say is I did ask at Wicks which was the best spray foam that I could use to act as an insulation and not as a gap filler, although it is filling a gap, and they came up with that after reading. I didn't have my glasses with me and I can't see all that little lot that well. So it's a can, irregular or gap, blah blah blah. So anyway, a few holes, 10mm, and then we'll poke that through and we'll fill it, and I'm hoping marked out, now cutting. That's all four corners cut. That is now ready to go in, apart from the fact I've now got to get the table saw out in a little while and cut a load of battens, because during the night I noticed that was cupping from damp, and I thought I could get away with it, but I can't. I've got a plank of wood over there. Where'd I put it? There's a plank of wood here. Some more wood down there. So, table saw coming out, Evolution one. I'm going to put a load of planks in, but I'm going to leave gaps along that far edge so as the stuff can go through. So there'll probably be a few there, about 4 total. Drill, and like vice versa. So there'll be holes drilled at each end, and then there'll be one hole drilled in the middle of each one. So I'll put the nozzle in for the spray foam. That should expand, and then those holes will be the exits for the gases that are in there. rows. Oh, my knees. Right, 5 inches apart. This is the main step in, so I needed a bit more support there. I've got to transfer these lines to that piece. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of diagonalling off, I'm just going to cut these all at one equal length and put them all in at 5 inches, and then that way if I come up here, do this one next, then I can just draw a straight line all the way down for 5.5 inches, because the half will represent the centre. No, it won't, because that will go wider on the next one before I end up miles away from the post. And now I'm going to have to do it 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and draw lines through the centre, and pray to God that I'm a little bit more accurate than I normally am.
Fome.
Your love is like I do in this town. I believe this time I'm gonna stay. There's not a soul I know around. Find the sunshine, leave the rain. Let's set this down away. Some gotta win, some gotta lose. Good time, Charlie. You know my heart keeps telling me you're not a kid at 33. Leaving town. I helped the man who gets lost in Miller's Cave. I had a girl in Waycross, Georgia, but she had a faithful way. You know, she made me feel unwanted, like the bad.
Just uninterrupted music listening without limits.
I'm so glad that you're my boy.
Right, I need 5 minutes to myself. It's so hot. It's got to be around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It usually gets about that, that time of night, that time of day. Whew. So they're all screwed down. All I've got to do now is drill a few holes and put some rivets in. But what I forgot to seal that bit up. Oh well, whatever. Oh, wet. Right, moving on. Well, my friends, it has been one hell of a hot day today. Oh, but we are there, as far as I want to take this. Anyway, look, all I've got left to do now is to turn it over, and that'll be tomorrow, because I need everything to dry, and I mean everything, and then I can put the spray foam in between. This is the next bit that's going to be dodgy, because this could ruin everything I've already been doing, because it could expand that wood so dramatically that I'd have to tear it all off and start again. And as you know, I've wood glued everything, so pulling this apart will not be easy. Anyway, tomorrow, that's my plan, and I'm going to do no more to it for a while, because what I want to do next is I want to start concentrating on a half door. Now, what I plan to do, because the roof and the walls will fold in, I'm going to do a hatch on that fold-in bit, because there's no other way I can figure out. There's no other way I can figure out how to do it. So I'm going to build a door frame out of this metal. So there'll be another. I've decided to use the big stuff. It's not thick. It's not really that heavy. But I'm going to do a U-shape frame with no top, coming in across and up. And then I'm going to drill and I'm going to bolt it to the base, and I'm going to weld it into there. So I shall cut this and weld the two halves in, if I can do it without moving this metal, because this is the next problem, because there's no top brace going on. This could belly out and I lose my shape. I might have to do is to weld a temporary brace in across, just to make sure that that door frame stays until I get the rest of the framework fitted, and that door will always be open at the top regardless of what I do. So this next bit is a bit tricky. It really is going to be a bit tricky, because the only way I'm pulling this frame back will be on the swing down sides. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to use metal to do the door. I ain't got no choice. I could do it out of wood. I would like it to be a little bit stronger than your average wooden door. So I'm going to do a metal frame with that stuff. I'm going to use that aluminium to skin it, and then all this oddball wood I'll fill in with wood and go from there. I don't think I've got enough plywood lying around now in the offcuts where I could skin the inside up. So the sides, the skinning that bit, I think we'll just forget about that for now. All the leftover wood I have got, I will store that, because it'll come in handy, I'm sure, for something else. So tomorrow, spray foam, door, start the door. Okay, well, I've already filled one bag up with offcuts, but we didn't have enough spray, so there is 5 tins in total gone into this. Unfortunately, and I can't remember which one it was, this one or this one, I didn't completely drill out properly, and when I filled it, it blew the wood, but we seem to be okay. So I've put a couple of battens in there temporary just to pull it all back. All the other areas that you can see have been done, and over there, well, that was what didn't get done. I've done as much as I can do. Like in there, I haven't quite got it all there, and definitely over here we didn't get it all. But the outpiece this side and the outpiece that side is not for walking. In fact, there'll be doors in front of everything, so that any cold accumulate, then will mainly make a lot of difference, will it, because it's not being used. So all I can do now is let the sun bake this stuff, and then I can say that the floorboarding is completely done for now. I just got to go around with a sander, but that's another day, not today. It's too hot. Planning to rain at the weekend. I'm actually quite grateful for that. So we'll get this covered up with a plastic sheet, and we'll get the next stage planned. It was going to be a door to go on this video, but I didn't realise we're already on Friday, so I think we'll upload this video today. Okay, the fact that I've got 2 pieces of ply and a plastic liner on the body of the pickup truck, that alone means I will get a lot more warmth through that floor. I won't have cold feet. However, now that I've got polyurethane in there as well, gap filler, that should increase its potential to stay warm. But don't get me wrong, I do not at this point know how much has been taken up and how many cavities are left inside there. I don't know that unless I was to sit there and pull this top board off. I will never ever know the answer to that. The only thing I could do, and this is for future reference, I could do this, and I may very well do this, is the next sandwich construction I do, I might put a piece of plastic across and screw the wood in so the wood can come out on the inside, and spray fill that way, and then just take the board off just to see if I have actually covered every single cavity inside, and leave the plastic where it is, because it'll act as a membrane to keep things reasonably waterproof. And I can always spray glue, if I can find some decent spray glue, spray glue the plywood back on so it's like one strong sandwich. I can do that. So there's loads of things that can be done, and at a relative low cost to me. So yeah, so there we go. Now what I plan to do next with this base, but not today or this week or next week, is I'm going to get a wire brush on a drill, and I'm going to gently wire brush everything back. I'm not sanding it, I'm wire brushing it, because I want the fibres of the wood to come up a little bit. The purpose of that is when I put the resin on, that will stick to the wood a heck of a lot better than if I hadn't done that. And I would like to try and get that on before the summer disappears on me, because come winter time this wood will gain a little bit of more moisture content, and it'll be that little bit harder to deal with. So next week we're going to start skinning the sides up, as many as we can afford to do. We're going to sand with a DA all of this back, repaint, and then we're going to start putting all the sides in. At some point, and that could happen this weekend, I've got to make a door frame. So we are going to have to cut a piece of that metal out. But before I do that, I need to take my toilet out of my lorry, because I'm having it in here, and work out where it's going to sit, and the night heater has got to come out as well, so I can work out where that is going to go. So the next job is to turn this thing back over again onto the table and plan the door. But next week, sometime next week, we are going to start buying in some more ply, even if we just get one side like this bit filled in. That will be fine with me. And I'm not just talking about the outside skin, I'm talking inside and outside skin. And if I can't afford to buy enough ply to do the other side, but I still have many left over, then what I will do instead is get some spray foam and spray foam that all up. And I might even get some plastic ground sheets and glue them on as well, and do that idea I spoke about. But I don't know if I can be bothered with it. There's so much that's got to be done, so it's a bit of hit and miss, and I could buy polystyrene and put that in, but I think, I mean, that took what, 5 cans, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 quid to get it to actually stick to the wood, whereas if I'd have bought a straight plain sheet, it wouldn't be stuck to the wood. So it's added to the strength by gluing it to the wood. It's actually added to the strength quite significantly. Where did the idea come from? Where did the idea come from to build it in such a manner? Well, it's simple. They don't fit through the gate whatsoever once it's fully constructed. I'm building one of those waste of money magazine cars upstairs. It's the Batman car, and I was putting it together in stages, and it kind of gave me the idea of how I'm going to do this from that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Marvel fan whatsoever, just love the construction of that car, and wanted to know how it was put together. And sometimes these models are so good that you get a good idea. That's why I did it. It's the steering system. Anyway, long story cut short, that's why I'm doing it. So if I do this in stages, that means it can be flat packed again and carried through on trolleys to the front, and then I can put it together properly at the front, and then we can do all the interior out the front. We don't need to worry about doing that here in the back garden. So there you go. Anyway guys, I'll catch you next week. Bye bye.